Hi students, today our topic is types of sentences on the basis of their structure. We already saw that sentences can be divided into declarative or assertive, imperative, interrogative, and exclamatory based on their meanings. Today we talk about types of sentences but on the basis of their structure. On the basis of their structure, sentences can be divided into simple, compound, and complex sentences. These sentences can be further divided into compound and complexes together as a single set that we would talk about later. Now, just let us move with the topic. Just look at the screen. Here you see a set of words. How can. They sleep well because, run, bread or burger, against my wish, so and so on. And you see, there are some set of words that are written with red ink. What is special about them? Why are they written specially? Yes, you are right. They are sentences. They are sentences. They sleep well, run, write fast. All these sentences all these are sentences. Did you wash your hands? It is also a sentence. So, what is a sentence? A sentence is generally defined as a word. As a word, even the word run can be considered as a sentence. It's not necessarily that or sentences are always a group of words. If a word that gives us a complete sense, complete idea, that word itself could be called as a sentence. So let us see how it works. A sentence is generally defined as a word or a group of words that expresses a complete idea. That is the most important thing. A sentence is a group or word or a group of words that it must express a complete idea. Let us go further. Now, let us go with some examples. Here I give you some sentences. It could be sentences. It may not be sentences. You have to identify which among them are sentences. Here comes the question. Kamal passed the book, dance regularly day, Suman sleeps outside during summer, Captain Dhoni ate six during the match, and we watch action movies. They are all a group of words. Are all group of words sentences? May not be. Because there are, as we see here, groups of words, they don't give a complete idea, a complete sense. Such group of words cannot be called as a sentence, cannot be termed as a sentence. Kamal passed the book. Yeah, it gives a sense, therefore it is a sentence. Dance regularly they are group of words, but they don't give any sense. Had it been they dance regularly, yeah, it could have been a sentence, but dance regularly they are group of words, but not a sentence, as this group doesn't give us any sense at all. Therefore, it is not a sentence. Suman sleeps outside during summer. A very good sentence. Captain Dhoni ate sixes during the match. It doesn't give any sense at all. Therefore, it is not a sentence. We watch action movies. Very complete idea, complete sense. Therefore, it is definitely a sentence. Now look at these lines. Just look at this line. Have a look. See, it rained during the match. Though it rained, we played. We played and it began to rain. If it rains, we will not play. As it was raining, we stopped playing. How many sentences do you find in each of these lines? How many sentences do you find in each of these rows? That is an interesting question. Let us check what your answer could be. You may write down the answer, and as I always tell you, write down, keep a pen and paper with you, write down the answer and verify whether it is matching with the answer which I give. If it is matching, I may say you are marvelous. You have been wonderful. If it doesn't, no problem. Let us hear it once again, play it again, and try to get the point, try to understand the content, the concept. Then let us go further. Okay, it rained during the math. How many sentences do you see? Of how many sentences do you find in this row? Okay, it is one sentence. Absolutely right. Though it rained, we played. How do we read it? Then we see there are two sentences in this line. That is what we presume. We played and it began to rain. Of course, two. That is our idea. If it rains, good. We will not play. Wonderful. Two, no doubt. As it was raining, we stopped playing. As it was raining, we stopped playing. Definitely it must be two. Is it wrong? Is it right? Is it correct? That's a big question. How did we know that there was only one line or one sentence in the first line? Because we read like that. It rained during the match. Okay, this one. Why did you feel that in the second row there were two lines? There were two sentences. Because we read like this. First we read, though it rained. It rained. Definitely it could be a sentence. We felt, and then we felt that we played. Therefore we felt that they are. In this line, we found two sentences we felt, and therefore we said there are two sentences. And in the next line, we found we played good, well and good, one sentence. And in the what could be the next? It began to rain. Definitely, we felt that there are two sentences, and we, without confusion, we said that it is a two-line sentence, or what we call a two-sentence line. What could be the next one? If it rained, wonderful, one sentence, and we will not play another, therefore it is two. And then as it was raining, one sentence we felt, and then we stopped playing, two we felt, therefore we said two. In fact, there is only one sentence in each row. In fact, there is only one sentence in each row. Then how did we get confused? Because we found something similar to sentences in each of these rows. We found something that looked like a sentence. So a clause is a group of words that looks like a sentence. We didn't find the sentences there. In fact, we found clauses in between. We felt that each clause is a sentence. That is why, except in the first row, everywhere we felt that there were two sentences, because they were of two clauses. So what is a clause then? A clause, to your understanding, I may say, not the scientific definition of a clause. It's a clause is a group of words that look like a sentence. Then what is a scientific grammatical definition of a clause? A clause is a group of words that contains a subject and verb. A clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. Then we may find that it is a clause. If we find a subject and a verb in a sentence, if we find it two subjects and two verbs in two different parts of a sentence, then we may say that they are two clauses, but one sentence, not two sentences. It is a brainstorming time. Let us identify the clauses in the following sentences. Can you identify? I'm just bringing in front of you a set of 5 or 6 sentences. Identify them. identify the clauses that is hidden in them. Here comes the question. Messi passed the ball, but Ronaldo couldn't score. Come whatever may, we will dance. Akshay sleeps outside when the summer gets hotter. Dhoni remains as the best captain as long as India wins. She usually reads thrillers which are popular. Can you identify the clauses here? You can just write the beginning of the clause, that may be enough. Since you may find it difficult to completely note down all the clauses, I may ask you to just begin, at least in your mind you may consider, you may think what could be the clauses that are hidden or that are included here. In the first one, Messi passed the ball, that could be the first clause. Second one, come whatever may be, that could be the first clause. Akshay sleeps outside, that could be the first clause. Dhoni remains as the best captain could be the first clause. She usually reads, here we thrillers, she usually reads thrillers. Here all we found one subject and a verb. What could be the rest of the part of the sentences? In the first line, the second clause could be, but Ronaldo couldn't score. Subject is there, verb is there. And in the second row, we will dance. We as the subject, will dance is the verb. Now the third one, when the summer subject gets hotter, whatever is the verb. As long as India wins, India is the subject and wins is the verb. Now, which is a subject or verb? Here all we may find some sentences where we could find two subjects and two verbs, or two subjects and two predicates. Nicely we could call each of them as a clause. So here we found the sentences with two each clauses. Not, you can't say one sentence is of two sentences. That we can never say. But we could say one sentence with the two clauses. So, having said about the clauses, let us try to go further. What are the types of clauses? What are the different types of clauses? Let us see. Clauses are mainly of two types. Clauses are mainly of two types. What are they? The first among them is called principal clause. Principal clause. And this principal clause is also called main clause. It can also be called as an independent clause. So, they are one and same. Just like India is called as India, Bharat, Hindustan. Both three of them are same, one and the same. In the same way, principal clause, main clause, and independent clause, they are one and the same. Now, what is the second type? The second type is called a subordinate clause. A subordinate clause. Now, when we say subordinate, in the school you may find a subordinate. A principal, there is a principal and then subordinate teachers who work under a principal. And that is what we call, that is what we understand by the term subordinate. So here in the same way, in a sentence, we find a subordinate clause that come under an independent clause. And that work under, that stand under an independent clause is called a dependent clause. So a subordinate clause can be also called as a dependent clause. So principal clause, subordinate clause, main clause, subordinate clause, independent clause, dependent clause. These are the two different divisions of clauses. Let us see what they are. They can be easily identified as subordinate clause, principal clause, main clause, or independent clause, dependent clause, looking at the way, looking at the conjunction used in these sentences. So what are the different conjunctions that could be used in a sentence then that we could see? So there are three types of conjunction. Coordinating conjunction, subordinating conjunction, and correlative conjunction. So what is, first look at what is coordinating conjunction. As I already taught you about conjunctions, fanboys conjunctions are called coordinating conjunction. What do you mean by fanboys conjunctions then? Fanboys, FANBOYS, they are called fanboys conjunction. F stand for the conjunction for, A stand for the conjunction and, N stand for the conjunction nor, and B stand for the conjunction but, O stand for the conjunction or, Y stands for the conjunction yet, and lastly the letter so stands for the conjunction so. And they are the 7 coordinating conjunctions. They are called the 7 coordinating conjunctions. And if we find these 7 coordinating conjunctions, which we could easily call fanboys conjunction, how could we call, what would we call these sentences that we will see? Accordingly, the types of conjunctions used in a sentence, we could divide sentences into simple, complex, and compound. We could call sentences into simple, compound, and complex. These are the 3 types of sentences. These are the 3 categories of sentences based on their structure: simple, complex, and compound. And what do we find in a simple sentence? We find one independent clause. We find one principal clause. We find one main clause. 3 are one and the same. For example, the dog barks. It's a simple sentence because there is only one subject and one verb. Therefore, it is called a simple sentence. A simple sentence is one with one subject and one predicate, or one subject and one verb. Now, if you find more than one, if we may say, one conjunctions, or more than one clauses joined by conjunction, then they could be termed as either complex or compound. Now, what is the speciality of a complex sentence then? A complex sentence is, again, in a complex sentence, we may find one independent clause and then one or more dependent clauses. So, in a complex sentence, we may find one dependent clause and one or more, one independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. And that is what we call complex sentences. And now, a complex sentence, easily we can say we don't use a coordinating or a fanboys conjunction. Now, what is a compound sentence? A compound sentence, we may find 2 independent clauses joined by one coordinate conjunction, one fanboys conjunction. And in the complex sentence, I could give you an example for complex sentence. Is as the dog barked, the burglar ran away. And here the conjunction as is used. The conjunction as is never a part of fanboys conjunction. And an example for compound sentences: the dog barked, so the burglar ran away. Here the conjunction so is used, and the conjunction so is a fanboys conjunction. Therefore, it could be called as a compound sentence. Again, the term confuses us. Complex and compound. Whether fanboys conjunction, wherever we use, we could call compound or complex. I could give you a clue for that. See, the last letter of compound is D. Last letter of D is D. A compound is D. And this D stands for double. D stands for double. So you may see if we find two or double clauses, the equally important double clauses. That is the way I say that. If we find equally important double clauses, we may term them as compound sentence. When you know that that it is here and everything, but term confuses whether it is complex or compound. And there, the last letter of D helps you. A D stands for equally important double clauses. And the fanboys conjunction, whenever we use the fanboys conjunction, both of them remain to be equally important. That is why we call them independent clauses. Independent clauses. Let us go further then. Now, just how to identify the kind of sentence based on structure. How do we know if a sentence is simple or compound or complex, or compound, complex or simple? How do we know? I give you some mental steps. If you follow this, if you take these steps, easily you can identify without mistake what kind of a sentence you see, what kind of sentence you read. First, you have to see the verb. Look at the sentence and identify the verb. Then you see if there is only one verb. Look at the sentence, and if you find only one verb, very clear it is a simple sentence. Now, if you find more than one verb in a sentence, you have to search for the conjunction that is used. So first one, identify or see how identify the verb, and you see that there is only one verb. If you see there is only one verb, it is a simple sentence, no compound, no complex. And if there is more than one verb, it is not simple. It could be compound or it could be complex. Therefore, you have to identify the conjunction. In the compound and complex sentences, you have to identify both the verb as well as the conjunction used. And the conjunction which is used in the sentence is a fanboys. One among the fanboys conjunction, it is definitely a compound sentence. And if it is not a fanboys conjunction, then it is complex. So, look at the verb, single verb, simple sentence. Two verbs, not a simple sentence. Then look at the conjunction, fanboys conjunction used. It is compound, and it is no fanboys conjunction, then it could be a complex, simple. Now, identify the following sentence as simple or compound. I don't care how expensive it is. I don't care how expensive it is. First, what is the step? Identify the main verbs in the sentence. What are the main verbs here? Look at the main verbs. Don't care. Don't care. Then what is the next one? Is. So there are two main verbs. Okay. Care. Okay. Because do is a helping verb. So care is the main verb. Is. There are two main verbs. Therefore, it is not simple sentence. It is. And we know if there is only one verb, it is a simple sentence. But we found more than one verb, two verbs. Therefore, it is not a simple sentence. Not a simple sentence. Then it could be either a complex or a compound. Identify the conjunction. What could be the conjunction? What the conjunction used? How. I don't care is one sentence. Expensive it is another one. How. How expensive, we could complete it like that. So, and that is not a fanboys conjunction. So how, the conjunction how is a relative conjunction in essence, and it is not a fanboys sentence, fanboys conjunction. Therefore, it is not a compound sentence, it's a complex sentence. Look at the next sentence. He is not tall enough to be a soldier. Not tall enough. to be a soldier. How many verbs are there? Identify the main verb. Main verb, only one main verb. Is no other main verb. If there is only one main verb, it could be a simple sentence. Definitely it is a simple sentence because there is only one verb. Then clear it is simple sentence. If it is a simple sentence, no need to go further because it is not a compound sentence. It is not a complex sentence. Our search ends there. As we get the answer, it is a simple sentence. The next one, we can either come with me, you can either come with me now or walk home. First identify the verb. What are the verbs? What are the verbs? Can, come, and then walk. Two verbs. Therefore, it is not a simple sentence. It could be either complex or compound. Then what you have to see, when we find two verbs, you have to identify the conjunction. Which conjunction is used? Either or. And or is a fanboy's conjunction. Or is used in a fanboy's conjunction. Therefore, it is a compound sentence. No doubt at all. Next, we draw right up to Kochi in 2 hours. Identify the verb. Only one verb, draw. If there is only one verb, it is a simple sentence because we have got only one verb. If it is a simple sentence, our search ends there because it has got only one verb. It is neither complex sentence nor compound sentence. Look at the next question that you see on the screen. He had high fever, but he wrote exam. What are the verbs, or what is the verb? How many verbs do you find? We find two verbs. One is had, then the other one wrote. So two verbs. Therefore, it is not a simple sentence as we have got two verbs. Identify the conjunction used. The conjunction used here is but, and but is a fanboy's conjunction. Therefore, it is a compound sentence. It was Sam who paid for the drinks. What are the verbs? Two verbs you may find, was as well as paid. If you find two verbs, it is not a simple sentence because two verbs. Now, if it is two verbs, it is not a simple sentence. What are the conjunction used? What is the conjunction used? Identify who, which is a relative conjunction, correlating conjunction. And since it is not a fanboy's conjunction, it is complex sentence. Now identify the following sentences. It is your work. You will have to do now. Just write compound, complex, simple, something like that. Okay, very easily you can do. Let us go a little faster as well. First question, it is up to you. It is for you. Look at the screen and get the answer. We were playing in the garden when the guest arrived. She put on her coat and went out. I can't figure out what he wants. Fourth one, you don't look happy to see me. And fifth one, the cat saw the puppies playing in the garden. Take a paper, simply write 1, 2, 3. 1 for simple, 2 for complex, 3 for compound. You know, or you may write S for simple, CX for complex, CD for compound. You know, because complex you can't simply write C and C. If you write C, both complex and compound begin with C. So you may write CX for complex, CD for compound. And here comes your answer. The first one. How many verbs? How many verbs? Were playing. You see, were playing is a verb. And then arrived, two verbs. Since we have got two verbs, it is not a simple sentence. If it is not a simple sentence, next you will have to identify the conjunction. What is the conjunction? When is the conjunction used? And it is not a fanboy's conjunction. Therefore, it is a complex sentence. You may be absolutely right. Again, second sentence. How many verbs? Put on and went out. They are the two verbs. Since we have got two verbs, it is not a simple sentence. If there are two clauses, two verbs, okay, verbs mean two clauses. Look at the conjunction. And is the conjunction It is a fanboy's conjunction, therefore it is a compound sentence. Next, figure out. Can't figure out is one verb, and wants two verb we may find. Since we have got two verbs, it is not a simple sentence. Then check for the conjunction. What is the conjunction? And it is not a fanboy's conjunction, therefore it is a complex sentence. You don't look happy to see me, only one verb, don't look happy. Therefore, it is a simple sentence. And the fifth one, only there is, you see I said main verb. Here you may find playing. It's a verb. Why can't we put it in a clause? The thing is that playing alone without a helping verb when it is used, I taught you in the class on verbs. V3 and V4 form when we use without verb, they are not considered as main verbs. And that is the reason why we have only one verb. So is the only one verb. Playing is not a main verb as it is not used with a helping verb. Since we have got only one main verb, it is simple sentence. Okay, let us see little more. 4 or 5 sentences. You shouldn't have done this to me. How many verbs? First, there is only one verb, and that could be the shouldn't have done. Main verb, okay, main verb. Shouldn't have done. Only one verb. Therefore, it is a simple sentence. And then we met rather few people who spoke. Here we may find two verbs. Met and spoke. Met and spoke. Then you have to see which conjunction is used. Again, we may find who is the conjunction, which is not a fanboy's conjunction, therefore it is complex sentence. Third one, let us see how many verbs are there. There are two verbs, went and bought. So if we find went and bought, let us check the conjunction. Rani went to the market and is used, and is the conjunction, and it's a fanboy's conjunction, therefore compound sentence. Fourth one, the farmer took good care of there is only good care of the cows, only one verb took, therefore it is simple sentence. And the last one, when all else fails, read the user manual. Two verbs are found, fails as well as read. There are two clauses, therefore it is not a simple sentence, because we have got two verbs, two clauses separated by a comma. And now, which conjunction is used? A conjunction when is used, and when is not a fanboy. Therefore, it is a complex sentence. And now here comes the last set of our exercises. Just look at and see what type of sentences they are. See the first one, he will never leave home because he hasn't got courage. What are the verbs used? Will leave, hasn't got, two verbs. Will leave, hasn't got. Therefore, it's not a symbol. Is it compound or complex? Check for the conjunction, because not a fanboy. Therefore, it is complex sentence. Next, they tried very hard but couldn't win. How many verbs? Two verbs. How many clauses? Two clauses. What are the two verbs? Tried and then couldn't win. Tried and couldn't win. Therefore, it's not a simple sentence. Which conjunction is used? But. And but is a fanboy's conjunction. Therefore, it is a compound sentence. Who let the cat in? Who let the cat in? How many verbs? One verb. Let in. That is the one single verb. Since we have got a single verb, it is a simple sentence. Although it was raining, we went for a walk. How many verbs? It was raining, or was raining, as well as went. Two verbs. Then check the conjunction. Although is a conjunction. Is it a compound sentence? Is it a fanboy's conjunction? No, never. Therefore, it is complex sentence. And the last one, you can leave or stay. What are the two verbs used? It could be said like this, you can leave or you can stay. And that is why it is written short form. You can leave or stay. Two clauses. How many verbs? Leave, can leave or can stay. Which conjunction? Or. And or is a fanboy's conjunction. Therefore, it is a compound sentence. Next time we will talk about interchanging simple sentences into complex, simple sentences into compound, compound into complex, complex into compound, complex into simple, compound into simple. It will be little trivial, but I will make it very easy. Don't worry about it. Okay. So I wish you a very fine time. Have a nice time, and then wait for the next lesson, and it will be an interesting lesson. Have a nice time. Enjoy the video.